God is a commander. It's a name that is only left to the military. But when you begin to study the capacity of God, you will realize that part of the titles that he has on himself is commander of the host of heaven. So, when you came from your house is where you are the host of. Are you hearing me? So, for example, Wasayon here is hosted by me, and I'm hosted by her. So we are hosts of our little house. Then the Kamba man in Kala is a host together with the red velvet. And both of them are amazing hosts in their own capacity. And then the spy here spied a lady and brought her into the process of spymentation. So they are hosts in their own capacity. So they might say what should go on in their own capacity. That's the only jurisdiction they have to express their authority. Are you listening to me? Now, he cannot come to her house. And in as much as I'm sure in his house is a lion, the tail is always up like this. But when he comes to my house, I've tend to look at him. His tail is always here. Have you ever seen a dog imenyeshewa? Kamukia kana. And then he's like, yes sir, yes sir. But I don't want to believe the people that stay with him hear the name sir anywhere. He is the sir now. Are you understanding me? In that capacity, he is sir. But when he leaves his territory and comes to mine, he is sad. Someone is now sir, and he happens to be the one coming in to size him. If there's a word like that. And if there's no word like that, it has appeared. The dictionary of shared love. Now, same thing for him. He has his own capacity. There is a place where he gods, and his authority is viewed. And then there is a place where his authority is not in view, because he's not Lord over that territory. Are you hearing me? Now, when you look at the word, the host of heaven, the Lord of hosts, and we need to explain what that means. Because in for lack of a better word, it's a military kind of a term. When the Bible talks about the Lord of hosts, like your president, he is the host of Kenya. Are you hearing me? So he cannot go to Uganda and express his authority. He's not the host of Uganda. So you must know why God takes pleasure in speaking about heaven first, the host of heaven. Because the kind of military there cannot be numbered. Wacha hii yako ya 500, 700,000. That military there cannot be numbered. And by the way, the worst demonic person that ever arose wanted to bring a coup in heaven. I can tell you for a fact, I know what I'm saying. He wanted to bring a coup in heaven. So there is a capacity of the legion that came to in allegiance to the host of heaven to support the claim that God does not authenticate of this particular brigade. And this brigade was only in service. He has come. The brigade of the host of heaven had already given capacity to a certain brigade, a battalion of angels. And part of that angels in their own rank, they are called the archangel Michael. The brigade that he commands is the only people that came against the force of darkness. And his name on that realm first was Lucifer. Oh, ye anointed cherub. His capacity was a cherub. He was a part of the cherubim class. So the brigade looked at this person. You see, he wanted to do something that he has no authority over. It's like now him wanting to come to my house and lord my house. Chances are in his house is called daddy. Chances are in my house is called son. And my children will not call him daddy, because he's not lord over that territory. So with all my anointing, when I come to your house, you hear your child say, call you daddy, and still call me pastor. Why? Because I'm lord over that house. So when Lucifer wanted to come and overtake that regime, there was no permission asked. Because you see, when you are created for something, when that thing manifests, you manifest because that's the essence of your life. For this reason was the Son of God born, that he may destroy. So when he found darkness, it was not, Father, what do you think about this darkness? It's not what do you think. That's the reason that I came. So anytime I meet blind eyes, they must open. That's why I came. You're not hearing me? So he desired it. So the brigade that God had orchestrated to respond to such a domestic violence happened to have seen Satan in his multiplied view, which is no longer now Lucifer. You see, they didn't fight Lucifer. You need to understand it. They fought a dragon. So Michael now came and decided to descend. And before there was war in heaven, you must understand there was a conversation of repentance. I can tell you. That one I can tell you. There was a conversation of repentance. Lucifer, bow your knee now. Apologize to the Most High, because what you are about to do, it will not end well with you. Because of his pride, he refused to listen. So the commander of that legion, together with the brigadiers, descended upon him. And then he now transformed into a dragon. You see, sin transforms into darkness. Sin will give you the best version of darkness there is, while righteousness will give you the best version of light there is. Are you understanding the truth? So now, that's when you now hear in Revelation your account that there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought back. It's not Michael and his angels fought against Lucifer. He was no longer son of the morning. He was not the bright morning anymore. He had turned into something else. So the response that came to him, it was a response that will come to every person here that refuses Christ as the supreme rule. It's not you that he will take to hell. It's what you have become. He has no problem with you, but it's what you are going to become that will be cast out into the lake of. Now there was war in heaven. Michael and his regime fought against the dragon. They were not fighting against Lucifer. They were fighting against the best he could have been, which you will notice in Revelation is still called what? The dragon. So he had multiplied himself in darkness. Now Michael descended upon him. Because Lucifer was desiring to be Lord of our territory, he cannot say how it was created. And this is why you will now realize, if a woman is married and a man enters the house of that woman, a woman and a man enters the house of that woman, not a woman, and sits on the seat, you must claim how that marriage came to be. That's why God hates it. When a man comes into a house of a man, takes the woman and sleeps with that woman. Because what you have done, you have removed the Lord over that house and you have sat over that house. So what will happen? There will be response. Now you must make sure that you have capacity to fight against what you are trying to uproot. So Satan did not check his capacity to fight against God. His desires drove him to a realm he couldn't support. And you see, God does not desire to sit on the seat, because that's why he says, in fact, he gives us the liberty. He says, search around. If you meet anyone like me, God doesn't tell us there's no one hidden there. No, he even tells you to go around and check if there's any God like. Go around. If you find one, report to me. Then I will now measure power. And the one that wins will be Lord over the people. And that's why God could not speak you into heaven. For this reason was the Son of God born, that he might destroy. That process of destruction was very dangerous. Because if Jesus came and he was not having the power to destroy, Satan would have destroyed him. Then Satan would now have ascended, and the 24 elders will have nothing but to open the gate for the Holy One to enter. Because at that particular time, holiness has been defeated. So So he now comes and he wants to sit on the seat. Then when they check power, they realize his power can be matched by Michael. So if he would have attempted the seat of Michael, because he has a seat, in fact Gabriel sits on the left side. If he had a power, if he would have attempted Michael, we can understand. But if Michael now can fight him and destroy him, but when he came to earth, he still has remorse. He's the angel of mercy. I know you hear many other things. The angel of war. Believe me. Rather believe him. And when he came to earth, he looked at him and he said, "Aye, Lucifer, I leave you to the Lord. It was not given to me. I leave you to the Lord. The Lord rebuke you himself." He left him. It would have been a done battle. So he now wanted to sit on a seat he cannot explain. Reason is, his desires took him to a realm he couldn't support. You see, don't desire to be a prophet when you can't support it. Don't desire to be a teacher when you can't support it. Don't desire to be a husband or a wife if you cannot support what it takes. Make sure your desires are within your what? Ability. So when you desire to be like God, make sure you have the capacity to support the realm the way God supports it. If you can't, you are now called a false God. Any God that cannot support the government of the spiritual realm, the host of heaven, it means your desires have taken it to a realm. You only desired what you can't support. Now I would like to ask you a question. If right now the world is dark, are you willing to hear? Can you hear the question? Have you given me permission?
Yes, sir.
If the world is as dark as it is and Satan didn't sit in heaven, can you perceive if Satan won and sat on that seat? I would like you to think the repercussion. It means darkness will be everlasting. So he will no longer need to hide as he's hiding, because now he has sat on the seat that supports every source of life. So he would have descended with so much authority, and that's why there was war in heaven. Now if I give you a scenario, a picture of how war is done in heaven, how you will now know why people like Semjaza came down and they taught enchantments and they opened metals of sword. Men were not designed to fight. It was spirits that taught men how to fight with swords. So they have swords over there, but it's not kitching. No. It is a very dangerous war that if you perceive it, if you perceive the fear that will come to you, if you perceive how war is done there, it might be a dangerous thing. I claim not to know anything, but I know. But I claim not to know anything. So God won the victory again, and Satan was cast out. He still continued with his endeavor. Can I use that word there? What's endeavor? The process of endeavorizement. That's endeavor. He still did not believe in defeat, and because he couldn't get to God, he could get to gods. So the first God was tried in the Garden of Eden. Psalms 82 verse 6, ye are gods. So because he couldn't get to God with a capital G, he now looked for those that came close to that, and it was not angels. So Satan is not trying to fight angels. He doesn't have business with angels. His business now with what is like him, and it was not angels. He now found. Now the problem with you is that you cannot fight by yourself. So the reason why you must be continually leaning on God is because you have no might on your own. You are not hearing me. So you are so useless when it comes to Satan's eyes by yourself. So to attempt to respond against a being called a dragon, when you cannot fly, when you have no fire on your mouth, all these capacities Lucifer has them, but you have none. That's why lean on the Lord. to lean on the Lord, to lean on him. What does that mean? His authority becomes yours. So when you are responding to darkness, you are not responding as a God. You are responding as the one that carries him. So when Satan looks at you that has him, he doesn't see you, he sees him. For that reason, he flees. So the danger of living life without knowing God. Have you now seen the picture? Have you seen the picture? Now he goes to and fro looking for who that he might bless. His agenda. You see your agenda? His agenda is to devour. He has no other agenda. Now he doesn't bring devour as devour. He brings it as a job. He brings it as women. He brings it as men. Because the idea is to calminize. The process of calminization is where two culminalities form a culminatic compression of that one. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is this. You are not hearing me. Are you hearing me? Long story short, if you don't have God on your side, it's just a matter of time. He will crush you. His agenda, you see the way you wake up and your agenda is to go to work. His agenda is to destroy. Woe unto you that see not the things of the Spirit. Woe unto you that put your trust on your assets and your money. And you didn't see 5 rich men miscalculated, and they went and they called something, they called a realm that should have been forgotten, going to and fro, chanting spirits. They now called it Titanic. And you see, Titanic sank. So what happened to them? This is why Africa, this mistake of calling your children your father, let your father be your father. Check your father. If you notice there are things in your father you don't like, and you call your child, what you are saying is that you are returning an altar into the present. That's why it's called Elijah. Twisha. It's only Africa where names are heavier than the books we carried in primary school. Martin Kilengwe, Mwanateli, Pataya. There's no need. But because we lack understanding. The reason why I've started by saying that is to express to you how much you need Jesus. And without him, you are crushable. Can you imagine a man that's not born again, how Jesus looks at them? And how Satan looks at them? It's like a dead man in his coffin trying to raise himself, not being prayed for. You're not hearing me. That's the only way we can express it. A person that doesn't have Jesus on his side is like a person on a coffin. You have seen them before? That person, not people, that person now trying to raise himself from a coffin. Are you seeing how impossible it is? That's how impossible it is. That's how dead you are. And that's how helpless you are to Satan. It's like the person on the coffin. Whether you beat them, they can't wake up, right? That's how you are when you don't know him. You are powerless. You are resourceless. Your use is less. You have nothing. You can't be shielded from darkness. I gave him a parable, a little parable of what I do in the morning. That's why he has mentioned it, but it's not the teaching of the day. So I didn't know it has caught him. Then I saw your message. Ilikuingia hivyo. Have you tried it? Any. Now, where's your nini? So I can hear people say, nee. So when I hear you asking your neighbor, what do you think it is? Like, seriously? I gave him something that I do. I've been doing it for a long time. I don't allow my knees, my legs to know their purpose before my knees. So I roll out of bed. I don't stand out of bed. I speak in parables. So you need time to understand that. Should I show you? Yeah. She knows. I think I need to show you practicals. Yeah? Ndio mjue kile mimi nafanya kwangu. Kila mtu na nyumba ya. If you in your lordship, you have made your legs know life, know their purpose, then that's your own lordship. As for me and my house, and anyone that comes close to that house, they must adopt to that technology, whether they like it or not. You see, my house only has life. There is no death there. So when you come in my house, I'm Lord over that house. So whatever you come with, it is left at the gate, because now the Lord over this house has clearly declared service to God is not an option here. So in my lifetime, and on Adiriaka Inoka, what I'm saying is that on the day that I will ascend to glory, of course by death, in that time, it must be as I've put it in my house. Darkness is not allowed. And anyone that will ever bring darkness to my house, utakuwa unasikia tu coffee usiku. Acha coffee za movie. Now, the difference will not be someone touched me. If you know, this is not the hem of the garment. Someone slapped me. When you hear a slap, is CW trying to confine to you the original capacity of that territory to the glory of God. My house is so much so that even in my departure, it will be obvious everywhere I live that I was with God, because in my house it's written Elohim. Where I kneel and pray is lit. So you can't come there and say, what was the honor? No, you will know when you get there. Something will tell you. If we come to your prayer chamber and we can't sense prayer until we hear prayer, you didn't pray enough. It means the spirit is not there. So we need you to act it. But when you come into a space of a man that prays, even when you wear his shoe, the shoes will be praying, for lack of a better one. You will know, something is different here. Why? Because that closet, there is an investment. Prayer power has been invested. It has now transmitted into power, energy. May the Lord bless the reading of his word today.